Spring football is officially underway. We've both been out at some spring football practices. Welcome into Bleacher Talk. I'm Claudia Collins alongside Jordan Spurgeon. And like we said, it's spring football season and it is not sweltering hot. So I know that we are both absolutely thrilled about that because it is quite a contrast to last year. But how's spring football been for you, Spurge?
Yeah, so far we saw it in last week's show. It was out at Liberty. This week you're going to see more about Cesar Chavez. It was a blast to be there. I'll talk more about that later in the show. We're also going to bring in Pete Clark, Pete No over on Twitter and X, and he's someone that is young, up and coming in the media landscape. So we wanted to get to know him. We want you guys to get to know him because he's doing great work. I feel like having gone to two already, spring practices feels good. He's been at like one or two every single day since spring ball started. So he's hustling. So we wanted to get some insight from him. But first in the show, Claudia, I know Hamilton High School, Travis Dixon, he's the new head coach. I talked with him a few months ago when he got the job, but you were out there. We're going to see what it was like. But before we do that, what were some things you took away?
Yeah, this really feels like the rebirth of Hamilton football in a sense. And that's not to say that there was any sort of drop off in the last few years. I mean, Hamilton has always been one of those powerhouse programs, but it does have a different feel now. Practice was really fun. That was one of the first things I noticed was the guys were really enjoying it, and it really felt like, okay, this is like a bonding opportunity in the spring to kind of bring the team together in the fall. They graduated 8 guys on defense, so there is some rebuilding there that needs to happen. It's a little bit of a younger team that we've seen in the past. And Travis is really, really connected to Hamilton. He's an alum, so learned about a little bit about his history at Hamilton as well.
It's a blessing to go back to the roots where it all started for me. I'm just honored to be the head coach here for this group of young men in this program and to help them lead them back to where they want to get to. I think the previous staff and then the previous coach did a great job of making it competitive and getting it to that point. And obviously, I'm here to continuously to push it and put us back to where in the position for us to compete at a high level every day on a Friday night. I just think discipline and accountability is the number one thing that I look at, and that's the biggest thing I look at as any young man. Discipline, accountability, and structure, that's the things we look for. And we're just going to continuously to help them grow as young men, as you kind of heard our message throughout the course of the day. We just want to make sure that they're doing everything right, and that's mainly off the field first. If we take care of the small details that way, the things that we'll see in success on Friday nights will take care of itself. I think it's a little bit of balance, try to be old but new, but have some discipline, but we can have fun and being competitive. I think that's the biggest thing we're having fun about. I think as coaches, we bring the passion and those guys feed off of us. It's a ripple effect. I think if we do our part as coaches to set the environment every day, our kids will thrive in the environment that we set for them as long as we put them in a position to be successful. And like I said, I think it's a great opportunity for us all to be out here together, and we talk about committing to one another on a daily basis. So, and you see that from the guys for us only being, new into our spring ball. I think the biggest strength right now is that we have guys that are playing for one another. I think that's the biggest thing, as you have a group of guys who are all highly recruited. I think the biggest thing, those guys, there's no egos here, and guys are willing to do whatever it takes for the team to be successful. I think that's the biggest thing that I'm enjoying the most. When you come into a program like Hamilton, you can kind of battle some of those things at higher level programs and big programs, and that's something that we haven't had to battle here. I love that, and I just love that these guys are eager to learn every day and give us their best every day, because they want it from us and they want our best, and they're going to give us their best. So I think it's a great working environment and a great atmosphere for us to all have fun and be competitive.
We got a lot of young talent. We had a lot of seniors that graduated, but we got the twins. We got a lot of safety at depths, and we got really nice cornerbacks that are coming back. And our linebacker core is really good. So we're pretty young, and we got a new defense, but I feel like we're gonna really strive for greatness.
On offense, 2 running backs, dogs. Jeremiah Huckabee, 2025 running back, and 2026 running back Jacob Brown. He got offered from ASU. I'm excited to be in this role now, and I love how the team is forging together and we're playing for each other.
I think guys are kind of starting to find who they are in their own individual leadership roles, right? Everyone leads differently. But, you know, hands down right now, the guy that's taking the reins for us is Rich Lucero. I think he's done a great job. He's been in the program for 4 years, a guy who's been around here, a guy that understands that he's in control of what we got going on, and is taking that ownership and the responsibility that comes with being a leader and the starting quarterback here in that realm. So obviously he's taking a lot of the first team reps, and he's taking ownership of that, as well as the guys on the defensive side. You know, Ben Jones is another guy that's stepping up for us. There's plenty of other guys too, and I don't want to leave anybody out, but I know those are our two senior leaders right now that are stepping up, with some other guys of DLT that's doing a great job, and we got some other guys that are really working hard. Huckabee's doing his role and doing what he can within the realms of him and who he is, leading within his own personality and how guys are doing it. So I think the biggest thing that we look for is the coaches that are investing in the young men or who are in it for the right reasons, and that's the biggest thing I look for. On top of that is looking for coaches who are passionate about it, who want to be high energy, and like the things that you asked about, practice is different. We just want to be high and energetic. Like I said, it's a ripple effect of the way we approach in high tempo, and we're chasing after the football and getting guys running the ball and finishing on offense. I think that just creates a championship habit that we talk about that's going to carry for us and down the road when we look at late in the season.
Really cool to see what you learned over at Hamilton High School, Claudia. But now I'm heading over to Cesar Chavez, Chandler Hoverick, taking the reins there as the new head coach. He's an alum, and there's a lot going on at Cesar Chavez.
What would you need to experience life in full motion? Expertise to provide the best care, unsurpassed training and technique. It requires the best orthopedic surgeons. Ortho Arizona.
Ortho Arizona and my journey. My knees were shot, so I had double knee replacement, and I wanted the best in rehab. Ortho Arizona encouraged and pushed me in the process. Go to orthoarizona.org. That's orthoarizona.org.
Bienvenidos.
Here in the heart of the American Southwest, you'll find 3 well-known restaurants all named Valle Luna, serving the finest Sonoran-style Mexican food known across the country and beyond. And we're open for business, so come on in. We've fired up the grill and iced down the refreshments and even added some specialties along the way.
Thanks for coming.
Hello. Greetings.
Welcome back.
No matter where you're from or how you say it, at Valle Luna, you're always welcome, and we're glad to have you back.
We've got some fresh new young talent doing some things that I know you haven't heard before.
1, 2, 3, listen.
Now bust a move, bust a move, bust a move.
Custom ordering is at Santan Ford. Colors, wheels, trims, performance packages, and more. From the factory right to your driveway. And you can even track your custom Ford every step of the way.
We are Santan Ford.
Discover more Play for All at Harrah's Auction Casino.
Hi folks, here are your drinks.
Where having fun means racking up reward credits with the Caesars Rewards loyalty program that can be redeemed for food, free play, hotel stays, and more. Not only here in the city of Maricopa, but also at more than 50 Caesars properties coast to coast. From Harrah's Las Vegas to Caesars Palace in Atlantic City. What are you waiting for? Play for All at Harrah's Auction Casino, the official sponsor of Play.
Unlock your home's equity with a home equity line of credit from Desert Financial Credit Union and use the cash for whatever you need. Get started now. Rates are still low and home values are high. Visit desertfinancial.com/HELOC and unlock your home's equity today.
Welcome back into Bleacher Talk. Claudia Collins alongside Jordan Spurgeon, and I am going to throw the ball back to you, Spurge. You asked me, what did I get out of my time at Hamilton High School? What did you get out of your time at Cesar Chavez?
Oh, so many things. The first thing I noticed, I walked into practice. They hit the field about 4:10. I was editing a Suns piece from the Frank Vogel presser in my car, so I got out there about 4:30. And Chandler immediately, as soon as I walk on the field, I just see this big smile. He's so giddy. He's running around doing his thing. They did a combine day, so it was a little bit different for the players, something that he wants to do. But he immediately came over and said hi, gave me a shirt, which was really cool. And about 40 of his players came up and shook my hand and said, "Thanks for coming out, sir." So I can see what he's doing over there at Chavez. The combine day was interesting to watch. Got to see some of the best players, some of them running track, see some really great 40 times and shuttle jumps and all kinds of things. So a combine day at Cesar Chavez, Chandler Hovick getting going, it was really exciting.
Man, we've been waiting for this moment. You know, that first week that we got on campus in January, we started going really hard in the off-season, the weight room especially. And so for us to get back out here for official spring ball, we've been chomping at the bit. And to have the numbers that we had out today and the quality of kids out here, man. We got a great group of guys from the 25 class, 26, 27 group. So it's going to come together. Enough chairs, and I had enough shirts for 65 guys. We got out there about 15 to 20 short. So we're pushing over that 80 number on the first day, which is awesome. It's one of the biggest differences coming from a smaller 5A school. You know, we're about twice the numbers right now with the bigger 6A school.
This is great energy. The guys like hyping each other up all the time. Even in the weight room, max week, last week, everybody was good energy. Everybody improving in their numbers, big jumps everywhere.
Ever since I was a player here, Coach Rattay, he always started off spring ball. We always were buzzing about the combine, who's going to have the fastest 40. So these guys were excited for it. We also told them, like, it's great you can run fast in a straight line. It's great you can do certain things, but it's got to translate on Friday nights. So this is a good starting point to see where some of our guys are at. And now we get into the real football work tomorrow and Friday.
We never did combine day for the first day. It's always been straight to the field and stuff, so it's a different look, but I like it though. It's been great to get to know Coach. He's been at pretty much, comes out to every track practice, say what's up, comes to some of the track meets even. He's everywhere. He's all around the community.
Especially because, like, since I transferred in here, it's been great. They've been very welcoming and open arms. Coach Hovick's been great, helping me learn the playbook, all sorts of things like that. They've all been very nice.
Number one message right now is Chavez made. And so when we talk about being Chavez made, it's the discipline, it's the toughness, and it's the grit. We want to be an extremely physical football team. And, you know, we feel that if we can have those components, we're going to be able to compete on Friday nights. Now, if we're lacking the toughness, we're lacking the physicality, it's going to be tough sledding for us. So now it's being more physical, understanding what that looks like, understanding how to practice, understanding how to prepare.
Man, I feel like we can win a lot this season. We got all the coaches that we needed. We got all the success, you know, around us. So I feel like we can do that.
Every Friday night, they're going to know that Cesar Chavez was on the field. And, you know, we're telling our guys, if a team's going to beat us, it's because they're going to be better than us. Not because we're not flying around to the ball. We got to be the most disciplined team on the field. We got to be the smartest team on the field. We got to hit the hardest and tackle the best. So we put those things together, we'll end up in a good position.
We're going to be physical, very physical. We want to be more disciplined for sure. We're more disciplined than we were in a couple of years, so I say that.
The biggest things for us for spring ball, first, coming together as a team, right? The first time with track ending up, we had a lot of guys doing track, a lot of guys doing baseball. So to have everyone out for a set practice with football, understanding what teamwork looks like. So that's big in the chemistry moving forward. And then along with that, the install, right? We're installing the offense, we've installing the defense, and we've been able to put in work these last 4 months, introducing the plays. But now that we're out here on an everyday basis all together, we're really looking forward to that install period. So I'm blessed, man. This is an incredible coaching staff. Coach Buddha, the offensive line coach, been with me at Central the past 5 years. He was also a Chavez alum. We got Coach Natrell Curtis doing the D-line. He's a Mountain Point State champ along with Paul Lucas, our running back coach. And you go down the line, Coach Red came over with me from Central running the linebackers here. We got Coach Manny over from the Rivals in the blue down the street. And you go down, Coach A2 running the receivers. We got a special group of guys. And it's a group of guys who really care about this community. It's a group of guys who really care about our kid. So, you know, I'm blessed with the best staff that I could ask for.
Stick with us when we come back. We're going to get to know Pete No on Twitter, that is, and a little bit of what he's been seeing out at spring football.
When you get a home loan from Desert Financial, you're not just getting a mortgage. You get a mortgage. You'll get more competitive rates, more local servicing of your loan. We even offer a closing guarantee on select loans. And because more is better, get up to $5,000 closing cost credit when you use a participating real estate broker. At Desert Financial, we don't just do mortgages, we do mortgages. Click, call, or come in for more information on our great rates, local servicing, and how you can qualify for a closing cost credit of up to $5,000.
With springtime savings going on now at Burge Volkswagen, it's time to get out and enjoy the Arizona weather in your favorite new Volkswagen. Save with 0% financing or $2,000 customer bonus on new Tiguans, 1.9% financing for 60 months, or a $3,000 customer bonus on Atlas and Atlas Crossport. Save with 3.9% for 72 months on Taos, or drive a 2024 Jetta starting at $22,995. Rush to Burge Volkswagen for springtime savings. Burge Volkswagen, Baseline and Country Club, or burgevw.com.
Let's talk about Venezia's Pizzeria. New York style pizza. Oh man, this looks so good. Pizza doughs made fresh daily, wings, subs, sandwiches, pasta. They cater, they deliver. They have 5 Valley locations. Venezia's New York style pizzeria.
What would you need to experience life in full motion? Expertise to provide the best care, unsurpassed training and technique. It requires the best orthopedic surgeons. Ortho Arizona.
Unlock your home's equity with a home equity line of credit from Desert Financial Credit Union and use the cash for whatever you need. Get started now. Rates are still low and home values are high. Visit desertfinancial.com/HELOC and unlock your home's equity today.
Welcome back to Bleacher Talk. I'm Jordan Spurgeon alongside Claudia Collins. As promised, bringing in Peter Clark now. Pete No over there on Twitter, or X, I guess you should call it. I'm still always going to call it Twitter, honestly. Sorry, Elon, but it's always going to be Twitter to me.
If you're watching.
Right, if he's watching it. That'd be cool if he was, I guess. But anyways, we're here with Pete, and he's someone that you should know, I guess, playing off the name there. You're all over spring football. You've been all over during the track season. So for those wondering, who's Pete? Because I've been asked that by some coaches and things like that. Who are you? What's your story?
I'm pretty young into this. I've been doing it about 8-9 months or so. I'm a college student currently. I go to community because it's cheaper. But I played football in high school. I played at McClintock High, and so I've pretty much been a product of the AZ high school football community. I'm probably the only ones here that I've met that has been they went to school here. They kind of went through it. So I've met so many people through football, through coaches, through other players. I played with some of the kids on some of these teams, and like youth football, I played high school football with some of these kids, and I just really found a passion for it. Yeah.
I got to ask, because you played for McClintock, the AZ high school football scene, but now being behind the lens in a sense and kind of getting to scope out, teams that were previously like your competitor, your competition, your enemy in a sense. Like, what have you learned about Arizona high school football as a whole now, going from being a player yourself to now kind of covering it all?
Yeah, it's so interesting to see the culture at different schools, you know what I mean? Because I played, 5A level, which it's pretty competitive, but it's not a Chandler, it's not a Bash. It's crazy cool to see kind of like how these bigger programs run their program. Like Liberty, I was at Liberty the other day. They run an extremely well-run practice. It's almost college level practice. So it's just interesting to see like especially the difference between like staffs. I mean, when I was in McClintock, I had 5 coaches on the varsity staff. At Liberty, there's 10. You know what I mean? There's 12 coaches. So it's just interesting to see like the differences between the levels of like the higher level programs versus the lower level programs.
Yeah, it's true at Liberty too. Like when I was out there a couple days ago, even the scouts, they all went up to Colin Thomas and were like, "Yo, this practice is the
Yes.
most like college level high school practice I've seen. Like that's next level, and that's why Liberty's successful." For you, when did you know this was something you wanted to do? Did you think you were going to play in college, or did you already kind of know like that you were going to take a different path, or
Yeah,
how?
I mean, I was going to play in college, but my senior year I actually got hurt tackling Cooper Perry. So
That's a
I kind of
good way to go down, I guess.
yeah, I tore my finger in my hand. I was a quarterback, so I kind of messed up that whole like college level entry there with on the throwing hand. But I really just like I'd always followed it. I always followed the media stuff. I got interviewed by like Zach in high school, like some of the dudes that were doing it. So I kind of like already was kind of familiar with it, and I also just really like I just liked looking through the game, seeing who was doing what, see who was at what school, and like couple like into last year, I kind of decided to. One of my friends is a very like he does a lot of the video filming for like timeout and all that stuff, like mainly basketball stuff. And I was just going to some games with him, and he was like, "Oh, you're pretty good at this. You kind of know a lot of the kids, so you should probably like just get into it." And I really just found a passion for it last season.
And I really think you have an edge, having grown up in this and really
Yeah,
being able to kind of still have that like high school student perspective in a sense. Definitely a full-blown adult now. I don't want to take
yeah,
that
yeah.
from
No, no, I
that,
totally get it.
that is a part of your history. So it is really interesting. But since you've been out to so much spring football, I mean, even Spurge and I combined have not been out as much as you have. So it's
Yeah.
honestly really impressive. We've talked about Liberty. What are some of the other programs that have stood out to you or individual pieces of things? Like which team's been the most fun, which has been the most serious? Like what are some of those takeaways?
I really liked Saguaro. You know what I mean? Saguaro has been a program that everybody's talked about this offseason. They've had a bunch of kids transfer out. They've had new coaching change, stuff like that. And I really like the energy over there. Coach Kelly is really building like a very energetic program. They were doing competition the whole time. They were doing all types of things. He was just super hyped up the whole time. So I really like the energy over there. And then on the skill side, I'd probably say I liked Highland a lot. Highland, especially the offense over at Highland, will be very, very fun to watch next year in Kalen Fisher's senior year. And then, Basha and Brophy are 2 teams that I think are absolutely loaded. And the only question with those 2 teams is the quarterbacks. Because like the more I go to these schools this year, it seems like it just seems like there's a lot of players that will be starting for the first time. Like at Liberty, there's every single offensive skill player will be a new player this year because there was so much graduating talent. Like we had like 65 kids go Division I last year. So been so much graduating talent. So I feel like this year is the most exciting for me because there's a lot of just new faces everywhere.
And someone that was a quarterback like yourself and you were going to play in college and all that, I think that's an interesting thing that I find in spring football. I mean, I wasn't a quarterback, but that's always the position that I feel like I've kind of learned the most about and watched the most tape on and things like that. And you see it like at a Liberty, there's a quarterback competition, and at Basha, there's a quarterback competition. How are you going about those conversations when you're out with coaches, just seeing like, who the front runners are, or are you looking for things when you're looking at guys?
I mean, you really just look at the leadership part of it because that's a huge part in the high school level was the leadership part. Maybe in the college level, you don't need as vocal of a leader, but it's still in high school. That's really who runs your team. That it's like if you look at Wyatt Horton at Pinnacle, he does a really good job of it. He's probably one of the best in the state at doing that. Like he's super, vocal, talking to his teammates, all that type of stuff. So it kind of sets the tone for your program. So if you look at like the Open last year, every single one of those teams had a proven quarterback. So it's like you're not really going to get far if you don't have one of those top guys that are always leading the team, making sure that everybody's holding each other accountable, stuff like that. So yeah, I think that was one of my big things in high school is like as playing quarterback, you just kind of really had to focus on leading the team, not necessarily just on the field, but I mean, the culture wise.
Before we get you out of here, what should people know about the kind of content that you're working on? What do you want people to know before you head out?
Yeah, I say I'm very focused on the players, because I feel like that's a huge thing now, is just promoting the players, because with this whole new college level and everything, social media is a huge part of that. And that's my favorite thing about it, is seeing these kids, constantly post stuff for coaches to look at, stuff like that. So I think my thing is just promoting the players, kind of seeing what they're doing, interviewing the players. A lot of people interview like the coaches, the teams and stuff like that. But I really want to get to know some of these kids and have people be able to get to know some of their favorite players in Arizona.
All right. Well, Pete, thank you for joining us. Pete No over on Twitter and X. If you don't know Pete, now you know him a little bit. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys for having me.
So much action out at spring football. We've been all over. Members of the Sports 360 AZ team are all over. People we talked to in the Arizona high school media space now, like Pete, are all over getting out there. So there'll be more content to come. You can check our website at sports360az.com. All kinds of columns on zone reads from Eric. You'll see stuff from us. Some of the stuff in Bleacher Talk will make it on the website as well. So for all your spring football coverage, check it out over there. And we'll have more for you next week right here on Bleacher Talk.
We got them at Santan Ford. From the latest all-electrics to the most rugged 4x4s and America's best-selling truck.
We are Santan Ford.
Visit us at Harrah's Auction Casino in the city of Maricopa, where you'll find play for all and friendly people ready to welcome you like family.
Welcome back, you two.
As the official sponsor of Play and the only casino in Arizona with Cesar's Rewards, see what a difference it makes to play where your fun is our top priority. Harrah's Auction Casino. Play for all.
Bienvenidos.
Here in the heart of the American Southwest, you'll find 3 well-known restaurants all named Valle Luna, serving the finest Sonoran-style Mexican food known across the country and beyond. And we're open for business, so come on in. We've fired up the grill and iced down the refreshments and even added some specialties along the way.
Thanks for coming.
Hello. Greetings.
Welcome back.
No matter where you're from or how you say it, at Valle Luna, you're always welcome, and we're glad to have you back.
When you get a home loan from Desert Financial, you're not just getting a mortgage. You get a mortgage and up to $5,000 closing cost credit. Click, call, or come in for more information on our great rates, local servicing, and how you can qualify for a closing cost credit of up to $5,000.